Hello, it's Chantale from Lepage Cafe. I promised you guys a series of how I make my Christmas junk journals, at least create one of the covers for you. I am making a lovely mass making, I guess. Is that what you call it? Where you make more than one at a time. So I have started with the covers. I have a couple that have already are ready to go. So I was working on them yesterday and I'm like, I've got to keep at least one to show you guys how I did it. So right now there's one drying. There's another one drying over here too. And then this one is kind of started as well. So I'm going to put these ones aside. I'm just going to make sure. Okay, so let's see. Let's get organized here. I have decided to gut a bunch of, I found a box. I knew I had some somewhere. Thanks, Took, for the wonderful idea of using up our books. But I had these this beautiful series, and it's I don't know if you can tell on camera. Sorry, the lighting's not great. I had to turn on the light because, oh, anyways. So it's like this dark green. So what I did, and they're Harvard classics, and they have this kind of light yellowy, greeny, mustardy. But, you know, I was going to use those, and then I decided, you know, I'm going to cover them. I might use a couple. So what I'm doing first, oh, sorry, I should tell you guys how I did that. Let's see how well this is going to work. Now, this one is not the same color. It's a different one, but I forgot to do one on camera how I gutted it. So I'm going to do this one real quick. And we'll see where we're at with time, and then we'll go from there. And I'll try to have some stuff organized, and this will be part one. Okay, so I'm still in frame. I want to make sure, okay, it's about from there. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. Okay, so let's get started. So what I did, excuse me, you can use, I mean, I am reinforcing all the spines. So I wanted, this one has this beautiful color. But what I do is I grab it and I find one that has a spine that you can pull away. You can probably fit your whole finger in, well, I mean, not necessarily, but you can stretch it that way too. So what I do, now there's different ways. A lot of people out there that do it differently. But this is what I do. I pull, hopefully I'm still in frame, I think so. I pull this away and then you'll see the book binding there. So I have a teeny tiny little pair of scissors. Excuse me. I used to do it with an X-Acto knife, but I lost my X-Acto knife. And so I'm just using what I have for now. So what I'm going to do first is pull this end paper away from the book just a little bit, just so I can see the other, just like that. So now this one's working very well, to be honest. And then I do the front as well. Just pull it away like this. Now some people might be like, oh my gosh, why are you taking this one apart? Because it's in good condition. But for me to just, oh, it's got a little, I might do that with my, it's got a little bookmark in there. I might do one for my Christmas journals. We'll see. Let me know if you want one or want to know how to do that. So first things first, I just literally just follow. Without, like, you don't want to cut into this part, right? You just want to follow. I follow this part of the book. And it's like already apart. Like it's already coming. It's kind of difficult to do this on camera because I usually can look, oh, see, sometimes they'll just pull apart like that. You can just pull on it. So that's how I kind of did it on both sides. Most of the time, if you've got a good book, you can, I just follow this instead of that, whatever that's called. And I literally just follow the edge. Sometimes you can just pull on it and it'll finish it off. This one doesn't want to, so I'm going to just keep going. So Now, at this point, I have been keeping these. This says Jane Eyre, so I will probably just keep it and use it for other projects. And I was thinking for November and December, I know I do, I know you guys probably do too, have a lot of Christmas cards, and you're like, what do I do with these? Now, let me know if you're interested in this or not. But what I'm doing right now is just pulling this away from the spine. Sorry, I got. And for these Christmas journals, I decided to take, look at how awful, look at how bad they stuck this. So I'm probably going to clean that off because it's like coming off the edge. Good job, you guys. So I'm probably just going to pull that away from the edge just because I'm not going to, I was debating if I should use these bookends because they're, but I don't care for the color. It's like this funny kind of mustardy, but I'm still going to keep them, the other parts. Like here, I just want this away from the edge so we don't see it. So I'll ink the edge. Anyways, so where am I going with that? So what I did, I'm going to put these on this side so there's not a big shadow going on. What I decided to do is just take these off like that. This is a beautiful color. I love that though. But another thing you could do is just glue your book, like your signatures right inside too if you wanted to, and use these, but we're not going to. Okay, so what I do is I clean off the ends. Sorry, I'm just gonna, these I'm gonna keep them for collaging and all that stuff. I'm just gonna put that there. And this is all that I'm doing. Be very careful not to catch this. Now I will reinforce them. So, but I don't want to make more holes if I don't have to, right? And I am putting, sorry, just trying to get some of the glue off my, so this is all that I do to prepare this. Now, some books, depending on the age, because the ones I use, I think they're from like, so they're cracking and a little rough. So I decided to, so they would all hold up really good. I was watching Jessica Rabb. Hi, Jessica. I will link her video below, how she prepared her Reader's Digest books. And I thought, oh, I've never thought of that. And I seriously didn't think that, like I wasn't even thinking of that. So I'm going, like I did with these guys. Oh, where's one that's sewn? I sewed inside. Now I decided to use this felt just because it reminds me of Christmas. And what I'm going to do after that, I'll show you guys, and I'll put some end pages after. So, okay, I gotta focus. One thing at a time. So what I decided to do, I picked up this felt in a big, like, oh, there they are. So I didn't pay a lot. Well, I mean, I just picked them up at the dollar store. You can tell they are not straight, but that's okay. I'm just going to make them work. They're the right size. I can trim the edges. So, and they tend to stretch and they hold up really well, and they're thick, but they're not too thick. So this is what I decided to do. Because this one is not part of my series, it's an extra book, and it's a different color. It's more like a blue color. I'm going to keep this one. I just wanted to show you how I gutted it. Okay, so that's all I do. And then I might clean up this edge a little bit more when I actually use it. So I got one that's prepared already that I can just use, or is it? No, it's not. So I'm just going, now this is one that I've already gutted that I'm going to use. Oh, I didn't take the ends. Oh, Aurora might come and say hi. Hello, lovey. Hi. What's that? You watching your show? You want a snack?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just give me a minute. Maybe I should have done that before. She's pretty mellow. You've got your cereal on the table, Aurora. So this is what I kind of do. I pull them back. And see see how there's that book cheesecloth in there? I will add that felt and then I will sew them. So they're really nice and sturdy, to be honest. Thank you, Jessica, for that idea. So, and thank you, Took, for getting me looking through my stash, because I was going to make some covers and then I was debating on what to do for, oh, sorry, if I wasn't even on camera, I forget. So you just, like, I just cut it as close as I can without actually cutting the spine. So I lean towards this, not towards that. Like, I don't cut this way, I cut this way, if that makes sense. And I kind of just trim the edge as close as I can get it. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. Just, you could use an X-Acto knife. See this part, this green part? I don't want to cut into that. Okay. This guy's still stuck. I might just leave it because it really doesn't matter, just as long as it's, I just don't want that bulk. So it lays flatter, the piece of material. Okay, so I'm gonna try to finish the cover for you guys for this first video, so you guys can kind of see. I don't know, it might have to be a two-part video because the inside takes a little bit more time, well, because that's the way I do it. But so this is my piece of material. I've already cut them down. I want them to be just have some on the edge, so that when I put my end pages, because this is how I'm doing it, you do not have to sew them. This, I will put, like, this will be kind of like the end, right? So I wanted to, and then I'll trim this edge, right? So that's my thought in there. So now what I do, I use Fabri-Tac to glue it down. Just, can you tell I've been using it? Just a good little skiff. Okay, I want some, quite a bit in there, but not, because I will sew this as well. Now I will add more glue, like on the edges in here after too. So, because I don't want, you know, I want the material to stay in there. I mean, it's going to be reinforced with the stitching as well. So I just line this up at the bottom here as close as I can, and then I literally just slowly go like this. Now I don't I don't have a scoring tool, but this works perfect. It's a plastic knife that used to be my kids'. Like, who uses, as a kid, as a little toddler, who, like, really, do they use a knife? They don't really use a knife, I don't think. So now the next step, I push it in there, right? Really good. And then next is I glue here and here to hold it down. I may trim the edges because I don't need a lot, but I'll probably just leave it. And another thing you can do too is miter these a little bit. What I mean by that, if that's even the proper terminology, I don't know. Just cut them down a bit, like in an angle, kind of like that. So they're hidden a bit more for, like, when you put your paper, you won't see as much of the red. Now this side, I trim it down really quickly here. I'll just kind of slowly miter it, and then I just try to follow the book without actually cutting the book. But I find that it's easier on this side to kind of see, because I don't want to, I'm gonna put cheesecloth just before I put my signatures in. You'll see, I'll show you guys when I do that. So just trim the edge without actually cutting the book. Okay, so that's pretty good. And then now, Oh goodness. Got stuff everywhere. I've been working on these for a couple, well, last night I was working on them. And then I just put, whoops, just put a little bit more there. Now I will be, hopefully I'm in frame here. So I just put glue, a good little strip of glue right down there. And then I noticed with the felt, you can't push too hard. Like you want to push hard enough so that it grabs, but you do not want to like put some way too close to the edge here. You don't want it to like push this way, if that makes sense. With felt, I found, just push it down gently. And then I bring it up like this to make sure my crease is being taken care of. So a bone folder would work just fine to do this. And then I just kind of push it up. The reason why you don't want to, it stretches the fabric if you push too hard this way. Believe me, I got a couple of those. So just gentle. If you're going to use felt, you can use any material in this process. The reason I'm doing this is just to reinforce my spine. And the red felt, I just happen to have it. I will probably go pick up some more because I have another idea I want to add to these journals, thanks to Sigita. I want to add some stars. That was such a cute little touch. So that's what I do on the inside. Let's see what I got for time here. Oh, we're okay. Okay, I'll see how well these load up. But let's do the other side. We're about 16 minutes in. So I hope you guys are doing well and you're crafting along. If not, it's okay to just be watching too. Now what I decided to do, now this one is actually in really good condition, this book. Some of them are ripped here. Some of them are really rough at the end. So what I've decided to do, I was gonna just fix the ones that were not in great shape. And then I have these beautiful ribbons that I picked up at Michael's. They were on sale. There were 2 for the price of 1. And there is lots, see? So I'm going to use them for tabs as well in my journal, but I've got like 4 different kinds. Now these have the little piece of metal in there. They're wired ribbon. This is the kind. So what I did was I cut them to size for the spine, like this, right? Because they're the perfect width, to be honest. And they give that extra little stability, and then I'll sew right through after. So what I did was, now they don't have the little wire. I cut it and then I pushed it up and took the little wire off. Maybe I can do one real quick. Do I have any over here? No. I'll just do a little piece just to kind of show you guys what I mean by that. So here's a little piece. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There's a little itty bitty wire right there. So I just bring it up for you. I just grab it and I pull it out. And then you just push like that. Grab it, pull it out. Okay, so now it's nice and soft and you don't get that wiry look. Okay, so I will use this as a tab probably. Or this way, it doesn't matter. Anyways, okay, focus, right? So we're going to center this and I'm going to glue that down next. I don't know that I will be doing the sewing on here just because you don't need to sew it, but my sewing machine is a little ways away. I might do some of the sewing in like that part where, because I do a lot of sewing before I even, with my sewing machine I mean, before I even put it in the journal. So that part I'll just move my thing that holds my camera over, because my sewing machine's it's a couple steps that way. So it would, I'd have to move it over and it doesn't reach because the pedal is, I don't know, it's set up that it works well over there. So don't mess with how it works, right? So I probably won't do the spine on camera. Well, these have to dry, right? So what I'm doing right now is I'm using my bone folder or my knife, my plastic knife, and creasing it so that it goes in that little crease, right? And then after that, I hold, you know, just press it down real quick. I will probably see how it's like. I didn't put any glue on the edge yet, but I will to hold that ribbon down. And then when I choose the what am I saying? This glue is, the book doesn't like it too much. It like takes that foil off. That's gold. I noticed with the first couple ones. So I'm trying not to put glue in here, which I already did. It's taking a little bit of it off, but what you gonna do, eh? So I just hold it down a bit, make sure it's in there properly. And then I get the edge here. Don't need a ton. I just kind of bring it, like flatten it out, and then I just hold it down. Try not to get glue on the back because I've taken part, like the one, it'll take this green off. I'm just gonna clean that end off of this glue because it's gross. Throwing it, there you go. Okay, so now, just letting it go down. I'm going to take one that is dry now because it's been sitting there. I'll put the scissors away. This is kind of, oops, what I do before I stitch it, right? So this one hasn't been stitched. See, I got goobers right there. But I will use an eraser and see if it'll come off. Hopefully it does. It doesn't wreck it. But the top, I'm not too concerned because I will be layering on top anyways. Okay, so these are dry, so I'm going to take all these off and I will do the same thing. Show you guys. And maybe I will sew these on camera if I can. So now I check it. Looks good, right? This one I made it this morning. And then I'm probably going to put another bead of glue on the edge of that. I probably didn't do it this morning. Okay, so this one will be in the sewing pile over here. Okay, next part, turn it over. Oh my gosh. Okay, you're right. Thought I'd put it up. I guess it really doesn't matter too much. It would be worse if I did that. And then, so what I do is I put Fabri-Tac again because I want the fabrics to bind. And it works really well. And then I'll sew it after. But I always wait till they're completely, I do corners really good, completely dry before I sew because I really don't want to wreck my machine after my other one's still not working really well. It's going backwards only. So it will be going to my brother. So now I put one of these to hold it down and then I crease it. Where's mine? Use your bone folder. I use this plastic knife because it works just as well. And then I put my next clippy on this side. You like that? Clippy. And then after that, I crease it, push it in there. Oh my gosh. Crease it, and then I put these guys over here just to hold it, kind of give it just hold it down a bit better. I've got lots of these clips, but for some odd reason, I can't find them. I wonder why. There's stuff everywhere. But we're not going to worry about that too much. I'm just going to use paper clips because, I mean, they're cheap stuff. I'm just reusing what I've got, right? So this is exactly what I did over here too. Got a bunch of paper clips. This one looks okay. So just taking these off. See, now they're good to go. They're ready to sew. Perfect. Okay, and then this side, we'll glue it too. Of course. Put a little bit on the edge here. There's fuzzies everywhere. That's the only thing with felt or flannel or whatever it is. I think it's felt. So now do the same thing on this side, and then I will grab onto this corner. Now it might seem tedious right now, but when I'm doing a lot, I have like a system where while one is drying, I'm still sewing the other one and so on, right? So, and I've got like, it's a little different when you're doing it on camera. I just have like a system where it works pretty quickly. Like I did 6 covers, I think, last night. Well, this part, the spine part, I mean. Oh my goodness, because I just said that. I'm going to, okay, so I hold that. Sorry, there's a couple fuzzies coming up. And then I just go like that and I push it down really good to make sure it's in there. And then I'll put another, my paper clips are pretty sad looking now. Just because it's quite thicker. So I'm just going to get this corner, okay? So that's that for the spine, you guys. Let's check where am I at for time? Oh, it's almost 30 minutes already. It doesn't take long, eh? And I'm talking, of course. So there you go. So now you want to leave that sit and dry, right? And then once it's dry, we will sew it. So we'll just skip that part because my sewing machine's over there. So we've got this guy. Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll do this one. So it's got these beautiful flowers. Now what I do when I decide, you know, I'm just gonna put this guy over here. Sorry. I've got one started over here already so that it doesn't take up all this time. So this one has the little deer. And I've got this beautiful scrapbooking paper that I have decided to use inside like this. So what I did next after the spine was glued is I put it through the machine on this side. So I started on the corner and stitch all the way around like that, okay? And then I chose my end papers that I wanted to use. I inked around, stitched around, and these will be my end papers, right? Instead of this yellowy. So, but I don't want this to show, so I will put it in a spot that you don't, so you can't see it. And that's when you realize how crooked they glue these down. The difference between handmade and a machine, right? Machine doesn't notice those little things. So, and then the front, what I will do is I have already made, like these pieces I'm going to keep for this journal because they match, right? I have already have a couple of these made up like this. This one has the red stitching. This one has the white. And they're just scraps that I will use for collaging. And then I decided on this picture for this one specifically because it works well, right? With the deer and the antlers. So this is kind of how I'm going to do that. So then at this point you just play and you decide on how you want to decorate. So I will probably do something like this and possibly add some buttons. If you had a little, you know, a little plate, you could put a plate. I also have these little, where are they? Little wooden pieces that you could also use. And of course I can't find them right now. I've got some fall ones here. But you could use whatever you want that makes you happy, you know. So playing along with your cover, that's pretty much what I'm gonna do for the first video because it's already at 30 minutes and it takes forever for it to download, I find. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed my process and we will go to part 2 tomorrow. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.